7:41 right now, in a lawsuit against Chicago Public Schools with shocking accusations is just released this hour. Attorneys are calling it an epidemic of sex crimes. A former Dunbar Vocational Career Academy student now says at age 15, a school security guard repeatedly pulled him out of class to sexually assault and abuse him during school hours. Nick Kamanjaran with Chicago law firm Lane Brown LLC is here to talk about what's really disturbing allegations just made public. We want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about this case. We're just hearing the headline, and I know many people, it only takes a few words in for you to wonder, how could something like this happen? But your lawsuit, I read through it, it alleges at least 6 staff members at the high school, including the principal, knew the security guard's conduct violations and CPS policy and failed to report it.
That's correct. We have alleged, and through various investigations have learned through the OIG's office, DCFS, the state's attorney's office, and Chicago Police Department's investigations, that various staff members of CPS knew about the grooming that was happening on a daily basis, which they were required to report under CPS policies and under certain circumstances state law, yet they failed to do so.
Yeah, so you mentioned that it really amounts to grooming here. The victim and his family, rightfully so, feel that they have been let down in this situation, but he's now 18. He says that this happened during 2021, so again at 15 years old. And reading over the case, I think I was most struck by the fact that, as opposed to a lot of situations like this where you hear of a suspect pleading for their innocence, in this case the former security guard Tywayne Carter pled guilty in 2023 to sexually assaulting your client and another student. So he's been convicted, he's been sentenced to prison. What more do you want to see happen?
Well, the family certainly wants answers. They want answers. What were these teachers, these administrators thinking on a day-to-day basis when they saw this security guard pulling our client John Doe out of class, taking him to an unknown location for 10 to 15 minutes at a time? And they certainly want to ensure that he can continue on his path to healing. He's treating with a counselor and a psychiatrist, and he will likely need that treatment on a lifelong basis. He should be, compensated under our laws for what immense harm that he has sustained. And certainly he would like an apology and an acknowledgement of what happened to him from CPS, which they have not reached out to him at all to see how he's doing or to extend that apology.
And that was going to be one of my questions, whether you all in your investigative process had heard anything from CPS or anyone with the school.
We have not. We have not received an acknowledgement, and nor has the family, and that's very hurtful for them. And they believe, and we believe as well, that that shows just a blatant disregard for Doe's safety, his well-being, which is what led to this happening in the first place.
And has there been any pushback as to the details of this case?
No, no pushback. As I mentioned, the allegations of our lawsuit are based on substantial, thorough investigations by Chicago Police, the state's attorney's office, the Office of the Inspector General, and the Department of Children and Family Services. All the allegations are supported by those investigations.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. I think there is an inherent trust that all of us, parents, guardians, students themselves, put into those who are in positions of authority at schools. When you send your child to school, you expect that they are added protectors for your child. So the security guard allegedly said that he would protect your client from bullies, from gangs, as a sort of big brother. He was in contact even with the students' parents, it appears. You mentioned grooming. It's unfortunately not even specific to this case that we hear of grooming within schools. You found in the OIG report, Inspector General's report, that there were other instances throughout schools.
Correct. As you mentioned, there's another victim in this case, a victim of this very security guard. And the Office of the Inspector General has received over 300 complaints in the last year of sexual misconduct, which marks a 12% increase in cases such as that over the previous year. And there's a significant steep rise in allegations, which are particularly serious, of those involving security guards.
So where do you go from here? Again, this was just filed. What happens next?
Well, next we will get into the discovery stage of the litigation. We will be able to request documentation from CPS, written policies and procedures, things that we've already investigated and found, but to more fully evaluate what was in place at the time. And then we will be able to take depositions of all the members of the staff and the teachers and administrators that had knowledge that this was going on, yet turned a blind eye to it.
Wow, all right. You know, as hard as it is to hear of cases like these, my reaction in reading it yesterday, preparing for this interview, was that at least it's not a secret, because that will help other people, whether they have dealt with the same thing or whether they need to come forward and report what's happened to them as well. So we thank you for what you're doing. Please keep us updated.
We will do so.
On things from here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be